Okay, we're gonna get started. The City of Plymouth City Council meeting for tonight, Thursday, January 25th, 2024, has now been called to order. In-person participation by the public is permitted. Members of the public not attending in person may submit written comments prior to the meeting by emailing their comments to the Deputy City Clerk at vmchenry@cityofplymouth.org before 3:30 p.m. on the day of the meeting. Emailed public comments will be distributed to the council and made part of the official record. This meeting is being recorded. Please silence all your cell phones or similar devices at this time. Could we please have a roll call?
Councilmember White,
Here.
Councilmember Amoruso, absent. Councilmember Sim,
Here.
Vice Mayor McLaughlin,
Here.
Mayor Ackerman,
Here,
Mayor Quorum.
thank you. Would everybody please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? Vice Mayor McLaughlin, would you please lead us tonight?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Approval of the City Council regular meeting agenda for tonight, January 25th, 2024.
I make a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
Excuse me, Madam Mayor. I'd like to continue both closed session items.
I'm sorry, say that again?
I would like to continue both closed session items to next meeting.
Okay,
Can I resend that motion and make a new motion then?
Yes.
Okay, I resend the first motion and I make a motion to approve the agenda with the tabling or resending the two closed session items to the next meeting.
A second.
okay, it's been moved and seconded. Can we have a roll call vote, please?
Councilmember White,
Aye.
Councilmember Sim,
Aye.
Vice Mayor McLaughlin,
Aye.
Mayor Ackerman.
Aye.
Thank you, motion passes.
Item 3, public comment. Under provisions of the California Code, citizens wishing to address the council for any matter not on the agenda may do so at this time. Please submit a completed speaker submittal form to the Deputy City Clerk. Comments are limited to 3 minutes or less. Speakers are requested to state their name and community of residence. For public comments on agendized items, speakers will be called by the mayor at the point on the agenda when the item will be heard. Under provisions of the California Government Code, the City Council is prohibited from materially discussing or acting on any item not on the agenda unless it can be demonstrated to be of an emergency nature or an urgent need to take immediate action arose after the posting of the agenda. Do we have anybody here in City Hall who'd like to make a public comment?
Good evening, how's everybody tonight?
Doing well.
Good evening, Mayor Ackerland, City Council members, Plymouth City staff, and community members. My name is Tracy Berkner. Many of you know me from the next block over at Taste and Rest Hotel, but tonight I'm representing Visit Amador. I am the co-founder and current vice president of Visit Amador. I would like to give you an update on our efforts as the Amador County Destination Marketing Organization for over 20 years. 6 months ago, Visit Amador Executive Board of Directors sought the advice of a nonprofit board consultant. And during this process, we developed a plan to boost the marketing of Amador and our presence as a dynamic destination marketing organization. Through this process, the executive board has decreased administrative expenses by eliminating the executive director position. We have further reduced expenses by eliminating our office space and now share a space with the Amador Vintners Association in Plymouth. The executive board has transitioned to a working board and taken on the task of enhancing the Visit Amador marketing goals. All of the board are volunteers. We meet on a regular basis with the Amador Chamber of Commerce, and the Amador Vintners Association to streamline our efforts for marketing the community. As a team, we have outlined responsibilities and goals to create a sustainable and successful business climate that is enhanced by increased tourism and community support. We are committed to working together for the success of our community. A new and improved marketing plan includes TV appearances, TV commercials, radio spots, digital billboards, regional print magazines, San Francisco Chronicle, social media influencers, travel shows, and much, much more. All of these programs are available for additional sponsorship to all of our community partners as well. In December, we ran a Win an Amador Adventure promotion on TV and radio. We featured over $2,000 in prizes donated by local businesses. This resulted in about 200 entries from over 40 zip codes. Current promotions are winter activities and saying I do in Amador. These are on radio and digital billboards throughout the Bay Area and Sacramento and the Central Valley. This week we are promoting Amador Restaurant Week in conjunction with Visit California. The first quarter of 2024, we're focusing on outdoor winter adventures, destination weddings, and food adventures. This includes the development of the Amador Burger Route. As you all know, there are many great burgers in our community, from the iconic Moo Burger at Melon Phase, the popular After Hike and Ski Stop, Giant 88 Burger, and the gourmet game burgers at the End of Nowhere Tasting Room in Amador City. Of course, the Taste Burger and the great burgers at Glenda Marlene's too. We're excited to share all the burger bounty that Amador offers. And our social media continues to grow as we promote our local businesses and activities. The addition to these projects, the Amador Lodging Alliance is seeking a passage of a tourism business improvement district in 2024. This is a visitor assessment that will be passed through all the lodging facilities in Amador. The assessment funds will be directed towards marketing to improve midweek visitation, drive overnight stays, and marketing partnerships with all of our local partner businesses. Visit Amador monthly meetings are open to anyone and are held on the third Thursday of every month at the Hotel Sutter. And we thank Council Member Sim for representing the City of Plymouth at the meetings. Visit Amador Board and all our partners. Look forward to partnership and support from the City of Plymouth in the coming years. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Any questions that I can answer for anybody?
I think this is super exciting.
It
Sounds like
is.
a lot of work.
It's
Working.
yeah, it's a lot of work. We've completely changed how we do things, and just in the last 4 months, we've recreated our budgets, recreated a whole marketing plan, and all of the board of directors, the executive board of directors, have been putting in a lot of time to make all these changes that we felt were necessary. So we just wanted to come and share with you what we're doing and the progress that we're making.
Yeah, thank you.
I can chime in and say that I've been to a couple of your more recent meetings, and I did go to a couple of years ago, and it's just, it is not the same at all. I mean, you're getting between 25 and 30 people there, a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of ideas. It really, you've done a wonderful job with this organization.
Thank you very much. It's a change that we've needed to make over the last 5 years, maybe 10. But we just really, we put the bullet and took the bull by the horns, and now we're really making some great progress. So it's very exciting.
Excellent job.
And if you ever want to come in the future and give us more information or just update us or whatever, I'd like to see you on the part of the agenda for presentations.
Absolutely.
Then we don't,
You don't rush.
Got a little bit more time. Yeah.
Yeah, no, my commitment to our board for the first quarter of 2024 is to make a presentation at every city council meeting in the county. So I'm just kind of coming through and doing that, and then I'll probably be doing quarterly updates and asking for agenda, just so that you know what we're doing, and if there's anything that that you want to participate in or that Doug brings to the council, we can do that as well.
Yeah,
Sounds
yeah.
good.
Thank you very much. Yeah, very informative and I mean, the work you're doing, we all win. We all benefit from it.
Rising
So thank
tide
you.
raises all those.
Absolutely. If there's anything we can do as individuals or obviously collectively as a city, please let us know because, well, the rising tide. So
Yeah.
thank you so much.
Absolutely, thank you, thank you. Any other questions? Thank you, everybody. Have a good
Thank you.
Thanks,
Choose
Tracy.
the microphone open. Thank you, Tracy.
You bet.
Do we have any other public comment here at City Hall? Doesn't look like it. Do we have any, did we receive any written public comment?
We received no written public comment on any items on the agenda.
Okay. Okay, thank you. So I'll close this now to public comment. Presentations, proclamations, appointments, there are none. 5 consent calendar items. All matters listed under the consent calendar are to be considered routine by the city council and will be enacted by one motion in the form listed. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless before the city council votes on the motion to adopt. Members of the council, staff, or public request specific items to be removed from the consent calendar for separate discussion and action. We have item 5.1 correspondence. There is no correspondence, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, okay. 5.2, approve the regular meeting minutes of January 11th, 2024. 5.3, adopt city council policy CC-010 core values policy. 5.4, approve contract amendment for Susan A for financial services up to the amount of $15,000. And 5.5, approve the corporation yard lease for calendar year 2024 at the rate of $715 per month. Is there anybody here? I'll open this public comment. Is there anybody here who would like to make public comment on the consent calendar? No? Okay, get it closest to public comment.
And if I may, Madam Mayor, I'd like to pull items 5.3 and 5.4 for separate consideration. And if you're so to the point, I'd make a motion to approve the balance of the consent calendar as presented.
Okay, so we're just gonna move those to agenda items for tonight, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. The council okay with that? So it's been, I have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Could we have a roll call vote, please?
Councilmember White.
Aye.
Councilmember Smith,
Right.
Vice Mayor McLaughlin, Mayor Ackerman.
Aye.
Thank you, motion passes.
And if it's okay with everybody, I'll move that to the end of the agenda. Public hearings, there are none. Regular agenda item 7.1, introduce and waive the first reading by title only of an ordinance amending section 2.08.180 of the Plymouth Municipal Code, increasing the city manager's spending authority. Could we have a staff report, please?
Good evening, Mayor and Council. This item is before you tonight to have the first reading of an ordinance changing and increasing the city manager spending authority to $20,000 from $5,000 in order that we can carry out some business that I'm not able to carry out, such as repairing water leaks and sewer leaks and approving the delivery of chlorine to the sewer plant. A lot of times we have a water leak and what appears to be a small water leak on the surface. When we open up the ground, it is a much larger water leak. Public Works doesn't have the expertise for large water leaks, and we don't have the equipment that it takes. So we have to hire personnel, and we have to hire them at prevailing wage, and that quickly rises the cost of work. And so work is being delayed in order to bring something to the council. And so I'm asking to raise the authority of spending up to $20,000, which, as you can see, I got the spending authorities for the other agencies in the county, and I took the midpoint of the other agencies. I think it's a reasonable amount with the current economy. And so I'm asking that the council introduce and waive the first reading, and we'll put this on the next agenda to bring it back for the second reading.
Thank you. I'll open this to public comment. Is there anybody here in City Hall who would like to comment on this? Nobody? Okay, I will post this to public comment, and you said that we didn't receive any written public comment. So now for council discussion. Councilmember White?
It's more than a fair request, I believe.
Okay. Councilmember Sim?
I agree, it's, 20,000 is more than fair for the types of jobs that she has to, approve and then wait for us to approve the approval. Just makes no sense. Very, very reasonable.
Vice Mayor McLaughlin?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I echo the comments, by Councilmember Sim and Councilmember White. The key to the spending limit is so that the city manager can be able to conduct daily operational business. In this case, I'd say even in our current market and everything, the 20,000 is still on a low end of reasonable, but certainly from what I see in reviewing our warrants and as routine, that for me, this request is more than reasonable and will allow our city manager to be able to do the people's business without creating undue burden of having to bring certain items to council that are routine items. So I fully support.
And I also think that this is reasonable and timely, and especially since looks like the last time this was addressed was in 2008. So it's been a while. My only question, and maybe it's in here and I just missed it, is how might this possibly impact if somebody brought forward a TOT request for, say, $19,000?
It depends on what the TOT policy is. The TOT policy now says 5,000, so that would be 5,000, and then it comes to council for anything over that.
Okay, so it doesn't change that.
Correct.
Yeah, okay. Okay, thank you. Okay, would somebody like to entertain a motion on this?
For the first reading, do we need to approve?
Yeah, just just make a motion to and read the subject line there on 7.1. You gotta read the whole thing. It's about the whole title, so we don't have to read it.
I make a motion to approve, introduce and waive the first reading by title only of ordinance number 2024-03, an ordinance of the city council of the city of Plymouth, amending section 2.08.180, increasing the city manager's spending authority to $20,000.
I'll second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Can we have a roll call vote, please?
Councilmember White,
Aye.
Councilmember Sim,
Aye.
Vice Mayor McLaughlin, Mayor Ackerland.
Aye.
Thank you, motion passes.
Okay, thank you. Item 7.2, review and discuss possible changes to the amount of reminders for delinquent residential and commercial water and sewer customers. Can we please have a staff report?
This item is before the council tonight because it seems like my finance staff is consistently in the mode of producing statements to go out to delinquent citizens for their either commercial or residential water bills. And so SB 339, the state water bill requirements are much lower than what we require. And I'm asking the council that we be allowed to lower the number of notices that we send out and follow the state guidelines. Previously, we had a hand-me-down folding and stuffing machine that would fold the notices and stuff them in envelopes. However, that machine jammed a lot, and it started taking more time than it takes to fold and stuff the envelopes. We have to hand stamp all of the envelopes, and it's just very time consuming for staff. And there's a lot of work in finance that has been left undone that staff could be doing instead of sending out notices. And so I'm just asking the council to let us go down to 2 notices a month to the delinquent water ratepayers, and send out a 15-day notice and a 48-hour notice to the delinquent payers.
Thank you. I'll open this to public comment. Anybody here in City Hall who would like to make a comment? Okay, there's nobody, so I'll close this to public comment. And council discussion. Councilmember White?
Okay, I'm gonna be the double-edged sword, but I completely agree with the city manager. But I'll say because of experience, so, and I'm real bad about with the bill thing. So, we pay our bills when we get that, for some reason, when we get that, just because we're so busy, when we get that, hey, your TV's gonna be off. It's not that that's just how we always operated in our house. But working in a facility that we do billing, and if we had to bill 3, 4, 5 times, the cost of that, we're reducing city costs so much. So I full on support it, but the only thing that I would say is our citizens, I can see some complaining coming back on it, so there needs to be an education to go along with it. You know, hey, guess what? Things are changing. You ain't gonna get as many opportunities or as much paperwork. That's all I'm saying. And as a matter of fact, I'll probably go home and talk to the wife and go, hey, guess what? Start doing what we're doing. So, I support it.
Councilmember Sim?
After having read the packet, I guess the warnings that we were running with was like 5 different warnings, right? And we're gonna reduce that to 2. I think 2 is fair. 15-day and 48 hours. I have a question about one thing. Have we looked into a postage meter rather than licking and putting stamps on what, 200 envelopes roughly?
It's about 600 envelopes,
Okay,
and we get the self-stick. Apparently, before I got here, they did look into a postage meter, and it wasn't cost effective.
you rent the meter, I guess, or you buy it. One or two.
One of the 2, yeah.
We had one in a business 35 years ago. And we weren't putting out 600 bills a month. It was terrific, but
I
So can I
will.
speak to this a little bit?
Yes, of
Because
course.
In the billing,
Please.
so, we went to metered billing, at our office about 5 years ago. And actually the cost went up 10%. So we went back to stamps.
10% over the, well, of course, But factoring labor, factoring labor might be a function you have to.
we would, I hate to say, because you still have to go through the meter, so it's still, I mean, time, it's almost the same both sides. But it,
You throw a whole bunch of them
Yeah.
into a stack and then they go flying through the meter.
and I know that there's different types of those meters out there and everything.
Maybe the ones were more expensive,
But I just know, and I do believe it's a running system, it's not a you on the machine.
okay,
I'm just speaking from my own experience on it and stuff. Now, I don't know now with the price of postage going up this last week, if there'd be any difference, but we tried it for a year and it did pay off.
so we have
It
600.
did or did not?
No, it did not, and we bill about 1,000, so pretty close to, you know.
Of the 600 invoices, roughly, how many delinquent invoices are we talking about roughly a month?
Anywhere between 20 and 40. And that's both residential and commercial.
Well, I'm definitely for the reducing this down to two delinquent notices should be adequate, I think. I'll move that.
Vice Mayor McLaughlin?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I like the way we've been doing it, providing notice. I mean, the goal is working with the community and trying to find the amicable solution. If it were 1 or 2 bills a month is one thing, but when we're looking at 20 to 40 bills a month over month with multiple production that's a huge cost, and as efforts of trying to become more efficient, yet continue to be responsive to the community. I support this as a direction. I agree with Councilmember White of just making it an education program so that, people are aware. Maybe that first, month would be a notice of, hey, this is where we're changing to, and then implement the following month or something similar thereof.
Anything
Nope,
else?
Sorry, no.
That's right. And then, Councilmember White, I think that was a great point to put in an education piece, but I support this too. It just sounds more efficient and, my question was, being we currently have a policy, would you be bringing back a draft, a revised policy for the council to approve?
Yes, I just needed direction tonight. I'll be bringing back an updated policy and an ordinance because it's also
Oh,
in
okay.
our municipal code.
Okay.
So there'll be an ordinance which will take 30 days plus 30 days to adopt. So that'll give us 60 days to do some education for the community, to get the word out and to let our habitual late payers, give them some heads up.
Yeah.
And we can put it out in our newsletters, we can put it out on Facebook. We can get the word out.
Okay, so you're just looking for direction tonight, so it sounds like the direction of the council is we support this and to move forward. Does that work?
Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. 7.3, discuss and determine if the council wishes to grant the request of $10,000 in TOT monies in whole or in part for the 4-Fires Food and Wine Festival event. Could we please have a staff report?
The TOT grant application came in December. And it's for the 4-Fires Food and Wine Festival that is in May at the fairgrounds. And as you'll notice in the packet, it is missing the budget. I did reach out to 4-Fires last week requesting the budget. I didn't hear back since then until tonight. It's a well-attended event. As it says in their application, It draws about 20,000 people to the event and
2,000.
2,000. Did I say
Okay.
20,000?
Yeah.
2,000.
Wow.
And 42% of the festival participants dined or lodged at local businesses. So they've requested $10,000 and so it's up to the council to discuss and determine the amount, if any, the council would like to award to Fort Myers.
Okay, thank you. Is there any public comment? Anybody here at City Hall who'd like to make public comment? No public comment, so I'll close public comment. And Councilmember White.
Is this the first time Fort Myers is back since COVID? Or did we have? it
No, I
last
think
year?
I don't think they had it last year. But I think they had it the year before.
2 years ago they had it, and it was quite a bit smaller, wasn't it? I believe.
I don't know what it was.
I don't know if this is gonna be the full blown what we usually had. I've said many times up here, that, anything for kids, man, I'm ready to give them money and everything else. And then I'm on the other side of it where I go, well, the fairgrounds uses us as a piggy bank. I've been noted to say at times too, because they always, hey, go to that city council meeting if you need some help. Fort Myers has come to us many years in the past. I'm a little upset that there's not a budget with this and what they're planning on doing with the money, but I'm sure that they do need the help and support with it too. So, I don't know if the full 10,000 is something that but part of the money I'm okay with. Cause I just know what it does for our community.
Councilmember Sim.
I feel the same way as Keith does, without seeing their budget. It's hard to know where this $10,000 what it represents in terms of the big picture. The other thing, Margaret, any idea if they've gone to any other cities for money, like Sutter Creek or Amherst City? Because I know they all must benefit somewhat from 2,000 people, I would imagine.
I do not know if they've gone to any other
I
councils.
was hoping that Megan would be here tonight, the ladies who run the vendors. But usually when somebody's here, when somebody wants an amount of money such as this, they send a representative explaining what it's being used for, why they want $10,000. Who else is perhaps chipping into the pot, none of which we have the answers for tonight. I personally think they should, if they want 10,000, they should send a representative, perhaps Megan, come back and explain the concerns that we have. That's.
Vice Mayor McLaughlin.
Yeah, I have the comments that Margaret made. This application is consistent with the promotional support aspects of the TOT program. It fits within the budget we have allocated for this year. But I'd like to see a budget which would answer some of the questions that council member Sim had. And yeah, I think, getting that, then, I'd be certainly interested in supporting this, but I think that piece would be important before I can support it.
And then finally for me, and as I'm listening to you, it's coming back when they were here a couple of years ago, and I specifically remember, I think it was Jamie LeBanco at the time, and she had Bailey LeBanco at the time, and they came in and did quite a presentation and brought us all a glass and said that they would put our logo on the glass and talked about, and talked to it. So I don't see anything here about, what our sponsorship, how we would be recognized for the sponsorship. I also, agree with what's already been said before, that, our TOT policy does state that, the application is supposed to be, part of the application is supposed to be a budget attached, and that's not there. And then also, I think you have a good question. We'd like to see, if there's contributions from any of our neighboring cities. With that said, I think this is a wonderful event. I think it's the one time that I went, it was well attended. It's a nice event. And so I'm supportive of the event itself. Would just like to see, see us have a complete application package, before I feel comfortable making a decision. Any other comments?
Yeah, so can we, I guess, table it until, to see if they can get a representative in the budget?
I think,
That's my feeling.
I'll second that.
yeah, I think we all agree we'd like to table this and ask them to return. Okay,
Does tabling require action or just declaring such?
The council's consensus on tabling is fine, we don't take a formal vote.
Thank you, sir.
so item 7.4, so we're gonna go back to what was on the consent calendar. This will now be item 7.4. Adopt city council policy CC-0104 core values policy. Do we have a staff report on this? Being it was,
Or, I mean, or
being it was consent, we don't.
normally when I asked for the item to be pulled. I'd love seeing this document come forward, and I very much appreciate to see it. One item and just going through for me, under procedures, core value, it'd be item number 3A1. Words.
Hold on, so I can catch up.
The bottom of the first page.
And more, it's the top of the second page, really. I'll catch up.
Okay, first page.
Yeah, it starts at the bottom of the first page, but really my items are at the top of the second page. You know, and having the course of, you know, conversations over months as we've gone through and discussing the policies, I think, you know, the key in this statement is defining that it's an important value for us to recognize that as we are speaking in public, that we are speaking with our own opinion, not as representing the council or not representing the city. And those words are all there, but to me, I think it gets lost in the words, right? The meaning or the intent is lost in the words. You know, that, you know, because I would use sound judgment and limit opining on city business in public to avoid misleading or confusing the public as to whether which statements are personal to me. It may, you know, I guess what I'd suggest is, you know, I will use sound judgment, and when opining on city business, I will clearly identify that the statements are my own and do not represent the opinions of the city or the city council, which is really the intent of what we're trying to get, right? It's just fleshing out the verbiage. And so that's the reason I pulled it and would like to make that suggestion, and I'm open to any suggestions or edits and move it forward. That is all. Thank you.
Councilmember White.
I really don't have any comments at this time. No, yeah, I don't know.
Okay. Councilmember Sim.
Nor do I have any suggestions.
I noticed the same thing. I'm glad you brought it up, Vice Mayor McLaughlin. I saw the same thing and read it, and when I first read it, I thought, does that mean I can't talk in public? And so I appreciate that you are clarifying that. The only other thing that I noticed in the third paragraph, it says all city officials, well, it refers to 8 core values. I counted 9. So maybe somebody could just check the math on that. But otherwise, I'm glad to see policies coming to us and, um,
It is 9.
there's 9. What's that? Anyway, overall, I'm glad to see that this is one of the many policies that have been put together and proposed and all that. And I think that they're great policies that just improve how everybody does everything. That's what I thought. Thank you. I realize that I forgot to open this to public comment, so I apologize. So I'll get to that. But anyway, yeah, I think that these are policies that add professionalism, courtesy, efficiency, all sorts of great things to how together we do business. So thank you for bringing this forward, and thank you, Vice Mayor, for your comments. So now I'll go ahead and open this public comment. Anybody here at City Hall? Okay, no public comments, so I'm gonna close it to public comments. Thank you for Vicky for the reminder. As I was listening to you guys, oh shoot, I forgot to put the public comment. Anyway, okay. So what are the wishes of the council? Do we want to see that paragraph rewritten and brought back to us? Which would probably be a good idea.
Yeah, I'm supportive either way.
I think it seems like a pretty discreet and small amendment. I think we could just make the motion to adopt the policy with the amended language, and just Margaret just needs to make sure she gets that exact language.
He's got the red pen, so.
Yeah, my red pen.
Do you wanna state,
I wasn't a teacher.
do you wanna state the your revised
Yep.
Language again, please?
So I'll make a motion to change, make a motion to approve policy CC-010 core values policy with the following amendments. Paragraph 2 under policy section, changing it from 8 core values to 9. And then under procedures, section 3, item A1, change the wording of the second sentence to be, I will use sound judgment, and when opining on city business, I must clearly identify that the statements are my own and do not represent the opinions of the city or the city council.
The official opinions of the city council. Okay. Is there a second?
I'll second that motion.
It's been moved and seconded. Could we have a roll call vote, please?
Councilmember White.
Aye.
Councilmember Smith.
Aye.
Vice Mayor McLaughlin.
Aye.
Mayor Ackerville.
Aye.
Thank you, motion passes.
Okay, what is now item 7.5? Approve the contract amendment for Susan A. for financial services up to the amount of $15,000.
I request this item just be pulled, I think, of what I know in having conversations with the city manager and different things, you know, recognize the amazing amount of work that Ms. Ampler is doing for the city, and figure to give the city manager an opportunity just to speak of why the increase in the amount of contract, when just to make it open and transparent and bring forth the good work that's being done.
So we haven't had a senior accountant on staff since November. And once we lost the senior accountant, we discovered a tremendous amount of work that had not been done to include items we found even as of today, such as payroll not being entered into our financial software so that we could have it allocated to the appropriate budget lines. And and that. We did advertise in November and in December to fill the senior account position. We did not get any truly qualified positions, applicants to fill the position. We advertised locally and in the Sacramento Bee. We had no one with government experience apply, and government accounting is very different than regular accounting. The person with the contract, I knew when I did the $5,000 contract that I would need to bring the contract to you for an extension. But I needed to get her on board right away with the things that I was discovering were not being done in finance with other payments such as money we were receiving from the county for fines, for the COPS grant, for franchise fees that were being paid to the city that weren't being entered into the financial software that needed to be entered, with no one on staff knowing exactly what the best way to enter them into the system was. I needed to have somebody in here immediately to start doing that work. So I knew I needed to get somebody in here with government financial background to start doing that work. So I reached out to our finance director and the finance association, League of Cities. And I found someone that is qualified and really, for the quality of work that we're getting, a reasonable rate. And I have to tell you, the employee that we have, the contractor that we have, we're getting a steal. She comes in, she sits at her desk, she puts her head down. She doesn't really talk to anybody unless she needs anything, and she is getting stuff done. She has reconciled bank statements that haven't been done for a while. When we bring the mid-year budget to you next meeting, you will have actual numbers that are current as of December 31st. Her and the finance director will have gotten everything entered, including payroll. So I'm asking that you award the extension up to $15,000. That doesn't mean that we will use all of that. I'm trying to prevent having to come back again. I am going to be advertising for an account clerk position instead of a senior accountant position, in hope that maybe we can find someone with just some financial background instead of an accountant type background that we can bring in and train at an entry-level position. And the contractor can train me to do the higher level work, and the account clerk that we bring in can do the AP work. Our current account clerk can do, the new person can do the AR work. The current position can do what she's doing now. And we'll still have cost savings from not hiring an accountant. And we can get the job done for less. But in the meantime, we do need someone with the expertise to help us get to where we need to be. And she's also going to be writing policies and procedures to get us to where, when we bring the new person in, she'll be able to sit down with a piece of paper and say, okay, these are the steps I need to do this procedure. So we're getting what we're paying for and then some.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So opening this to public comment. Is there anybody here in City Hall who'd like to make public comment? Nobody, no public comment heard. So I'll close this to public comment and council discussion. Councilmember White,
I have no comments.
Councilmember Sim,
Is this lady a freelance person?
She's a retired finance accountant that has worked her entire career in government.
Would she be willing to work part-time for you in lieu of finding this person you're looking for or you're advertising for?
I have not begun advertising yet. I did not ask her that question. So I don't know.
You said we lost somebody in November?
Correct.
Okay, I remember who it was. Thank you. Go ahead.
Vice Mayor McLaughlin.
Thank you. Sorry to put you on the spot, by pulling the item in. Just one question, the position that I guess became vacant or we're working to address, that was the elected city treasurer, but correct?
It was the senior accountant position, but she also is our elected treasurer.
Okay, thank you for clarifying. So nothing further.
I'm in support of this and looking at the contract, I think, I know how much it costs my business when I have to contract for these types of services, except for the things my husband does for free. But I think $75 an hour is super reasonable. And I'm glad to hear that she's so efficient and working so hard. I'm totally supportive of this. So what are the wishes of the council? Would somebody like to make a motion to approve this?
I'll make a motion to approve the contract amendment for Susan Atler for financial services up the amount of $15,000 as presented.
I'll second that motion.
It's been moved and seconded. Is that, we have a roll call vote, please?
Councilmember White.
Aye.
Councilmember Sim.
Aye.
Vice Mayor McLaughlin.
Aye.
Mayor Ackerman.
Aye.
Thank you, motion passes.
Okay, council staff communications. We have a city manager's report.
I have nothing to report tonight.
Thank you. Councilmember White, anything to report?
I'm good.
Councilmember Sim, anything to report?
I was gonna report on the Council of Tourism, but Tracy Brooker just did a beautiful job. She kind of stole my thunder. But I'm glad she did. She was great. That was really the only meeting that I attended since we were all given these various meetings to attend. Anyway, so that's all I have. Thank you.
Vice Mayor McLaughlin.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Just one item, Tuesday of this week, the sheriff contract ad hoc committee met, and we're preparing, we'll do a presentation to the city council, either the first or the second meeting of March, coordinating that with Margaret and city manager to where it would fit most appropriately in the agenda to bring the council up to speed on the work that's been done and to get further direction as necessary.
Thank you. And the only report I have is that I had a brief mayor's selection committee with LAFCO. And as you all know, we're officially, we're not on the rotation this year. There was an ACRA meeting, but unfortunately I wasn't able to attend that. So I have nothing to report, nothing else to report. So I'll move on to council requests for future agenda items. Councilmember White.
I'm good at the moment.
Okay, Councilmember Ambroso's absent. Councilmember Sim,
I'm good as well.
Vice Mayor McLaughlin.
And nothing at this time.
And then the only one thing that I want to reiterate is having a discussion about getting something on the ballot to have the city treasurer and the city clerk be appointed positions versus elected positions. That's all I have. And then finally, I think we'd all like to take a minute to wish Vice Mayor McLaughlin a very happy birthday.